Hi everybody, welcome back to my exam series. Today we're going to jump into the professional tier. So we're going to start off with the Professional Solutions Architect exam. We're going to take a look at the exam requirements and we're going to try to find out which services we need to understand in our environment. So as you see, there are two exams in the professional tier. And these require comprehensive understanding of what we've learned in the previous tiers and also additional stuff. So let's go for the Solutions Architect. So the Solutions Architect itself is a good track for anybody who's designing infrastructures in AWS. And of course, it's all about the well-architected framework, right? We talked about the well-architected framework in the previous video for the Solutions Architect exam. Now let's look how it differs from the associate tier. First thing, 2 or more years of experience. Well, actually, you know what? We're just going to jump into the exam guide here that you can download on this website. So 2 or more years hands-on experience with cloud architecture, ability to evaluate cloud application requirements and make architectural recommendations for implementation, deployment, and provisioning. So we're talking about use cases, use cases, use cases. This exam is all about use cases. It is 80 questions. It is 190 minutes, I think. It's a big exam and it's gonna just go into a lot more detail about can you translate the customer requirements into the appropriate solution. Also, they're gonna quiz you on best practice. So they're going to give you questions on security best practices, on architecture best practices. Can you design scalable, highly available, automated solutions? A lot of the times the answer will seem like it's the right answer, but it's actually going to be there's going to be a hidden non-automated approach. So for example, somebody has to do something manually. If somebody has to do something manually, that's not best practices, right? Familiarity with a scripting language, which would mean essentially you need to have some kind of understanding of a scripting language. Like, you know, bash scripting would help. Running CLI commands, definitely helpful. Understanding also, you know, YAML or JSON so that you can read CloudFormation templates, for sure. Familiarity with Linux and Windows and Linux. that would work also. Familiarity with the CLI, yeah, there it is. With the APIs, with CloudFormation, billing console, management console, that is crucial. Well-architected framework, as I said in the associate tier, you need to be pretty clear with the well-architected framework, and the same previous steps apply. And then mapping business objectives to architectures, designing hybrid architectures, making sure you got all kinds of continuous integration figured out, right? That is crucial for this one. We're talking about basically whatever you would learn as an engineer, where you're engineering development solutions or DevOps solutions, right? Yeah, this one is going to be the same multiple choice, multiple response. Domains, organizational complexity, new solutions, migrations, cost control, and continuous improvement, right? So what is it going to ask for? Cross-account authentication and access strategy. What does that mean? IAM roles, cross-account roles, how to allow login through a external provider. Like for example, how do you federate with on-premises or online directories? Designing networks for complex organizations, VPCs, security, VPC peering, VPC endpoints, VPNs. You'll have questions about direct connect. You'll have questions about routing, questions about you know, network access control lists and security rule lists, security control, security groups controlling your access and how to troubleshoot that. Multiple business units, yeah. So expect questions on things like the for example, Cloud Hub VPN, right? They haven't updated this exam yet, so there will be stuff for Cloud Hub VPN, for example. I know you would use Transit Gateway. Expect that there could be requirements to know about Cloud Hub VPN also. Actually, better. Learn about VPNs, Cloud Hub VPN, and Transit Gateway, and also how to set up your own private VPNs. Multi-account environments. We're talking about organizations. We're talking about consolidated billing. We're talking about how to secure your organizations with security control policies. Sorry, not security, service control policies. So that's going to be crucial. Number 2, new solutions. Architecting secure solutions, all kinds of security controls. How to build security at all layers. Security for ingestion of data into your environment, security for on the network, security as far as identifying users and giving them least privilege permissions. Then what else? Web application firewall, DDoS protection with Shield. Those are security stuff. How you can use load balancers and how you can use auto-scaling groups to absorb any kind of DDoS attack. Security as far as how CloudFront can help you with security. What else do we have in security? Of course, encryption in transit, encryption at rest. That's the standard. What kind of encryption there you have? Reliability. How to make your applications reliable, how to make them highly scalable, highly available across availability zones, how to make your databases highly available, how to scale your databases. Okay, this is a thing about the architecting exam. You're going to need to know a bit more about databases than in just your basic environment. Performance objectives, right? How to make sure you've got the right performance. This is going to be a lot of questions about auto-scaling. This is going to be a lot of questions about choosing right-sizing instances. You're going to have a use case and they're going to give you an example. You got to choose the most cost-effective or performant instance for this solution. Business continuity, making sure that you have the ability to do backup and disaster recovery operations, your RPOs, RTOs, polish that. Also, the pilot light and standby website and active multi-site configurations. Those 3 you need to figure out. Migrations, not migration planning. Deployment strategy for business requirements when designing and implementing a solution. Yeah, they're going to give you business requirements. Most of the questions in this exam are business requirements. Then migration planning. This is going to be a lot of questions about how to migrate in that time frame that you have. You could have questions on Snowball or you could have questions on, Direct Connect, but they'll give you a time frame that's kind of too short for either, right? How to determine what kind of cloud architecture would fit to your existing solution. You'll have questions like, I have Linux servers and I have a MySQL, physical server. How do you build that in AWS? Migration tools, database migration service, server migration service, those 2. S3, how to use S3 efficiently for migrations, right? You can always dump a database on S3. That's a cheap solution, right? It doesn't cost anything extra. So if it's cost and if the objective is migrating fast, then that's your choice. A cloud architecture for an existing solution. So figuring out how to optimize your existing cloud solutions. They'll give you a certain solution and they'll be asking you how to make this highly available, for example. Migration from on-premises to the cloud. Yeah, determine the strategy. So always think about refactoring, replatforming, re-architecting, and all of those R's. Cost control. You got to know your costs here. In this one, they're going to be asking you questions about costs, and they're going to have you compare like EFS to EBS volumes. They're going to have you compare, which solution is going to be the cheapest? And one is going to use S3, but it's probably not going to give you enough performance. So for example, we want performance and we want it to be cheap, right? Which controls to design and implement, how to do cost optimization. Things like how can you essentially give budgets to your accounts, especially in organizations. Reducing cost in an existing solution. They'll give you an existing solution and they'll say, and now your IT manager has decided that we need to reduce the cost for this solution. How would you optimize it? move data off to S3 a lot of the times, right? If it's static data, move it off to S3. And then number 5, continuous improvement, right? Troubleshooting architectures, how to use VPC flow logs and how to understand VPC flow logs, how to understand CloudWatch, how to understand performance issues, how to figure out what's going on wrong with your code, right? Sometimes they're gonna have like a command line and say, this is going slow, we need to go faster. Yeah, because it's serialized. You know, parallelize that command and do all the commands at once, right? So you can pull all the data at once. Here you got questions about, for example, S3 multi-part uploads that could pop up. Improving an existing solution, yeah, that's exactly what I've just been talking about. Determine a strategy to improve reliability. So they'll give you an existing solution and say, we want to make this more reliable. And it's already highly available and everything. How are you going to make it more reliable? Well, sometimes you're going to have to maybe add another region, right? Or sometimes the region will be overkill. Always be clear about, the questions are clear about the SLA, what kind of SLA you need to reach, and always understand what kind of services, what kind of SLAs are supported by the services and what you can deliver with the service. So if they say, we want to run data in 2 data centers, right? We need to have data replicated at least in 2 data centers. What's the solution? Do you need to do 2 EC2 instances in 2 regions? Or do you just store data on S3? S3, because it's stored at least in 3 locations, in 3 data centers, right? If there's no geographic distance involved, then why 2 regions? Performance for existing solution, right? They're going to give you a solution that's performing badly. How do you implement performance? This is where caching comes in, right? A lot of questions are going to be on how to improve performance with read replicas, with caching, with CloudFront, etc. How to improve security. They're going to give you a solution. It's going to be designed badly, and you're going to have to improve security. Questions about the root account, questions about how to secure access to your applications and to the management console, how to securely distribute keys to your developers and things like that, how to securely address services from EC2 instances, roles, right? Roles, a lot of questions on roles. And then, of course, how to improve the deployment of an existing solution, right? You've got an existing deployment, manual steps, how do you automate those? This is going to be more questions about Elastic Beanstalk, about OpsWorks, about CloudFormation, some questions on Systems Manager. Security, you will also have questions about, for example, Parameter Store or Secrets Manager. What else? Yeah, I mean, again, a huge range of services that you need to know here. Yeah, definitely services inside here. All kinds of compute services, right? EC2, batch, no batch. Batch is going to be something that could be part of your architect. Outposts, no, never seen any questions on outposts yet. VMware questions, could have VMware questions with a VMware existing platform, and then how do you move that existing platform to RDS, for example? That's a good question. Remember, RDS supports running on VMware also on premises. That's something crucial. Auto scaling, for sure. You gotta know auto scaling, you know, to the T. Might be questions about the new auto scaling features in there. Elastic Beanstalk, how to use it, when to use it, how to customize it. EB extensions, right? EB extensions, check that out. Make sure you know the structure, because they're going to ask you about which file you can customize DB extensions with. Serverless, that's Lambda. Lambda definitely is a big part here. How to use Lambda, not just for executing functions, but also security features and how to automate with Lambda. That's going to be questions on that. No questions on Lambsail. I doubt that. Lambda wavelength. No. This is all too new. Wow, come on. Containers, yes. ECR, ECS, EKS, and Fargate, all very crucial for your for this exam, right? This you need to know. Databases, pretty much you know, sort of baseline coverage of all the databases. Aurora, DynamoDB, and RDS are going to be the most sort of representative. Elasticache, definitely in questions that will be about optimizing and making sure that the read performance is optimized. QLDB, I don't expect any questions on that. Might be some questions on Redshift, right? As an advanced architect, you need to know these big data solutions. TimeStream, no. Apache Cassandra, no. DocumentDB, no. Neptune, I don't expect anything. RDS on VMware, yes, you might have questions on that. And database migration service, for sure. Guaranteed you will have that, right? Customer engagement, not really. Developer tools, not really. Not really. Yeah, the CLI is the only thing in here that I would say you would find in the exam. I mean, basic understanding of developer tools does not hurt. Knowing what code commit does, what code build does, what code pipeline does. End user, no. Maybe a question about workspaces, but related to other solutions. It's not going to be an isolated question. Nothing about games, IoT. I would say a basic understanding of IoT might be required in this exam. Just basic understanding of what IoT does. Just take a look at the services and just make sure you remember what they do. ML services, I don't expect that you would have ML services in here. Probably not. You can probably avoid ML services completely. Management and governance. CloudWatch, yes. CloudFormation in detail. Compute Optimizer, probably not because it's too new. Mobile, no. Managed services. I mean, you need to know. You need to understand which managed services there are and what the difference is between managed services. Personal health dashboard, yes, you can expect that. Questions on trusted advisors, possibly. Autoscaling in detail. CloudTrail in detail. Config in detail. License manager, possibly within the scope of systems manager. OpsWorks, yes. Service catalog, could have some questions related to service catalog through sort of CloudFormation based questions. Well-architected tool. Now, the well-architected framework, right? But yeah, get to know the well-architected tool. If you're studying for this exam, get to know this because it's a good jump into well-architected frameworks. Chatbot, no. CLI, yes. Control tower, no. The management console, not no. You gotta know the management console. Organizations, yes. Questions about centralized governance, centralized billing, centralized security, service control management. Systems manager, yes, definitely. Media services, not really. Migration and transfer. Data sync, I would say definitely. Transfer family, transfer definitely. But just on a sort of surface level. Server migration service, yes, on a surface level. Database migration service, yes. No. Snow family, yes, on a surface level. When to use Snow, when to use Snowball or Snowmobile. Quantum, no. Robotics, no. Satellite, no. Security identity, definitely. IAM, definitely. Understand guard duty, yes. Artifact, yes. Directory service, yes. AWS Resource Manager, I don't think so. AWS Shield, yes. Cognito, basic understanding of what it does. Inspector, yes. Certificate Manager, yes. Firewall Manager, basic understanding. More WAF than Firewall Manager. Secrets Manager, yes. Single sign-on, not really. Detective, not really. Macy, not really. Cloud HSM, yes. Key Management Service, yes. Security Hub, not really. Well, Web Application Firewall, yes. And then storage, S3 in detail. FSX, basic understanding. AWS Backup, not really. Disaster recovery, not really. EBS in detail. FSX for Windows File Server, yes. Snow Family, again, yes. EFS, I would say in detail. Glacier in detail. And Storage Gateway, definitely yes. So that's my recommendation for the AWS Certified Solutions Architect Professional exam. Next, we'll talk about the DevOps exam. I will see you in my next video. Thank you very much for watching. And of course, don't forget to subscribe. And of course, only 2 days left for the 100 subscriber competition. So make sure you comment. I will put all the links in here into my into the underlying into the description of this video. So everything will be down here. You can find the 100 subscriber video. You can find all those things that I mentioned, and other stuff like study resources, and all the stuff that I talked about in my previous videos. I'm going to link everything below. So I will see you in my next video. Thank you very much. Bye.